The US raised tariffs on Canadian steel from 25% to 50%. Trump thought tariffs were his hammer, but Canada wasn't a nail. In under a year, Ottawa boosted EU trade by 65%, secured critical mineral partners, and introduced domestic rules favoring Canadian steel. Mexico had already negotiated relief, and the US began to feel the pinch. When sudden tariff hikes hit, some as high as 35%, Canadian exporters felt the impact. Shipments slowed, margins thinned. But instead of folding, Canada launched a $1 billion steel rescue plan. The government bought up Canadian steel, redirected it into infrastructure projects, and funded retraining programs to keep mills alive and workers employed. It wasn't flashy, but it worked. Meanwhile, 85% of Canadian exports to the US remained tariff-free. That gave policymakers space to play the long game. Canada treated it like a chess match, quiet, deliberate, and strategic, while pressure mounted inside US factory towns that actually relied on Canadian supply chains. Then came the pivot. Ottawa deepened ties with Brussels, expanding the EU trade deal that had already removed most tariffs. By aligning industrial policy with Europe, especially in steel, aluminum, and critical minerals, Canada built an alternative market. Partnerships extended into the Arctic, with joint projects in shipping, energy, and security. At the same time, Canada moved into Southeast Asia and the Indo-Pacific. Countries like Japan, Vietnam, and Singapore became backup markets, reducing dependence on a single trading partner. The lesson was clear: if one door shuts, others must be open. This wasn't just about trade. Stronger NATO ties, defense cooperation, and joint industrial planning gave the EU-Canada relationship real strategic weight. Polls even show growing Canadian support for deeper ties with Europe, proof that public opinion is shifting alongside policy. Trump's tariffs, meant to punish, instead gave Canada its biggest foreign policy upgrade in decades. Ottawa absorbed the hit, smiled politely, and then rewrote its trade map. Every tariff push from Washington only drove Canada closer to new allies. The result? A quieter, steadier Canada with more options, more partners, and a stronger global position than before.